What's up, y'all? It's the boy Cam. Today, I really wanted to touch on a subject I feel like isn't talked about enough, and I feel like a lot of people um, don't necessarily feel comfortable talking about, and that's mental health, or sort of the things that I think that people go through that they don't feel secure enough to speak about. Maybe they're embarrassed, or they just don't necessarily feel comfortable coming out and telling people about how they feel because they might seem weak um or like they're not strong-willed enough to go through the things or some of the trials and tribulations that they're fighting. Um, some up here on Fort Mountain, and I feel strongly about this because it's something I've dealt with over the course of my years, over the course of my life. Um, and I kind of spoke with a friend uh, a friend of mine today about um some of the things that he dealt with earlier in his life, and I spoke with my roommate Josh um earlier about something about this, and I spoke with a another friend of mine earlier on my way up here about kind of sort of the war that is life, and how difficult it can be sometimes. I think it's extremely important for us to talk about that, and because this is a really, really, really stressful, kind of lonely time. It gets dark super early, and I think that people um kind of feel the gloom of this time of year, and it kind of goes into the beginning of next year, and it's important for people to talk about that. um Something else that's I feel like kind of puts pressure on a lot of people, and I think that um um society as a whole, with social media, and I feel like people will compare themselves to people on social media, or compare themselves to other people in life, because I do it too. Um, I've over the course of the last 2 3 weeks, I have been doing some Instacarts, and some of the people I've made a connection with, and um, I see how together their life is from my point of view, and I see their big houses, and just I kind of just I'll compare myself, and I'll kind of ask myself, why don't I have that right now? Why don't I have this? And I think that is like one of the biggest issues I think people have in society, is comparing yourself, man. You have to stop doing that, man. The more that you compare yourself to other people, and it's like you feel like you're devaluing yourself. You're not giving yourself the credit for what you have accomplished, and what you have become so far, and not taking appreciation for the things you do have. And people might have a different path than you, and you will get there. And um you can look at that from a financial standpoint. from health and wellness. You can look at certain people and be like, man, I don't have that body, I don't have that. Well, it probably took that person a failure after failure, or they had to learn this and they had to learn that. And I I think that puts a stronghold on people. Will and it makes them feel almost pressured to match that. But you have to understand, man, you're running your own race. Don't run a race against other people. You're doing your own thing. And it's important to know that well, life is going to hit you harder than anything else, man. And it's up to you. If you let life, you know, beat you down and beat you down, um, and you give up, that's one of the biggest that's one of the most catastrophic things you can do for mental health, man. Like well, the one thing life can't take from you is your smile and your fight. And it can, earlier this year, Georgia played Alabama, and even though we didn't win, right? Even though we didn't get it done, they go down. I can't remember the exact score. It was like 28-7, 35-7, something like that. Being in that situation, kind of, you know, metaphorically, we're looking at life in that kind of situation. It's easy to quit. It's easy to stop trying. It's easy to give up. But you fight, man. Like that you keep fighting until the fourth until that clock hits zero in the fourth quarter and beyond, man. Like you can't let life take that smile and that fight from you. Like I said, I've been through a lot this year, man. I've been knocked down, but there's one thing that I keep want to reiterate is that you need to find somebody that you feel comfortable enough with and that will listen to you, and take that and feel like you're unloading that burden. Get that off your shoulders. Cry, man. Let it out. You know, because that bottling that up inside, it just makes it worse. Then you lose sleep. You can't eat. Um, and I don't. I mean, I don't want to seem like I got all the answers. I swear I don't. Um, because I go through it too. It's super tough, sometimes, but I find some of the people that I feel comfortable with. I talk about it. Um, and um, I think that one of the biggest challenges, another one of the biggest challenges in life is seeing that light at the end of the tunnel. You know, trying to stay positive through tough times. And believe me when I say I've I've tried my best to stay positive in some of these tough times, especially right now. It's Christmas. I'm trying to finish school. Well, the semester is over, but I'm not working where I used to work. I, but I have an interview pretty soon for another job. Um, and it's definitely taken its toll. Taken. It's definitely took its toll. But like I said, man, it's all about trying to keep that smile on and knowing that there's better times ahead, and trying to, you know, not letting those demons really latch. My apologies, the video kind of cut short, but yeah, all in all, you know, where to everybody, there is always an ear to listen, whether it's me or somebody you feel close with. Um, you just have to you have to find a person or somebody that you feel comfortable enough with to lay that on. And I also want to say that um try, and if you fail, try again. and fail again and try again. I think I touched on this in one in my like my first video, but fail and try again. Fail and try again because just because it doesn't latch the first time doesn't mean that, it's not going to. Um, and you just really have to keep your head up, man. And I know that sounds cliche, just keep your head up, keep fighting. And some people, like I said, not everybody has fights the same wars and fights the same battles, man. And I don't want to generalize anybody. Um, and I hope this video doesn't um make anybody feel like I have. Um, because I promise, your thoughts and your feelings are valid, and um, don't ever let nobody make you feel like they're not. But you should also always be open to people. If you're gonna open up, they're gonna input their thoughts. Now, don't let somebody be, you know, don't let somebody make you feel like your thoughts don't matter, or just kind of neglect how you feel. Or, if you have somebody in your life that beats you down, that don't bring you up, obviously those people aren't good for you. But um, you know, take those lessons from people, you know, take, tips from other people, and use them, man. If they're really there, if they're really genuinely there to help you, you need to listen, take some advice, man. Um, I don't always have all the answers. You don't. Um, but somebody might have an answer for you for a certain question that you have, and that's why you should always listen. Be open. I know certain people say, hang around people that are smarter than you or have more money than you, which is, smart. I think that, you know, like I said, as long as they're not degrading you, as long as they're there to help you, to give you tips, to guide you, then yeah, learn from other people. That's how you and connect with people, man. Get out, take a job that you don't want, but you're gonna meet people that might can offer you new things, can open doors for you. Um, those are things that you need to that you should take advantage of. And um, I was, after high school, when I came out of high school, I had put on a lot of weight. Um, and it took me and it took my brother, swallowing my pride. He did give me some tough love, and I think some people do need that sometimes. But I think that he was able to extend a hand and extend advice and tips on trying to get in shape, eating better, and like I said, repetition, it's all about trying and failing. If you can try and it latches, that's great. But don't beat yourself down, you know, don't that's one of the biggest things. Put your don't put yourself in a cage, or don't kick yourself emotionally, just because you didn't do something right, or just because you failed at something, man. Pick yourself up, um, and dust yourself off, man. Be your own cheerleader. Hype yourself up. That's what's gonna get you through. You know, everybody has their moments and everybody fails. So just hype yourself up. Be your own biggest cheerleader. And I think was it was it Kendall Jenner? I think she had I can't exactly remember what this was, but she had a I guess the therapeutic way where she had a picture of like a picture of herself as when she was a child. And she kind of, and I can't remember what they call that, but like every morning you would wake up and you see that picture of yourself as a kid, like you would want to nourish that kid. You wouldn't want to like beat it down. So if that helps, do that. I can't remember exact, but that's something you might want to look up. But she had a little baby picture of herself, and she would always talk to that kid like, um, because that was hers, her younger self, and that's somebody that you would you obviously want to nourish children. You don't want to beat them down, and I think that helps too. Take care of that inner child. You know, you're always gonna have that inner child. But yeah. That's just something I want to touch on today, man. I got lost in trying to I started yapping, but yeah. Uh, to all the people that have reached out so far, um, and all your supportiveness, that's even a word. I can't remember. Supportiveness. I can't remember. I do need a haircut. I'm gonna get a haircut Wednesday. Shout out to my boy Dez. I got an interview Thursday morning. Um, but yeah, shout out my boy Dez. He's one of my people that I feel like I can talk to as well. Um, so he's kind of my therapist when I sit down. But yeah, definitely keep subbing. I enjoy your feedback, comments. Leave some comments. And like I said, again, I do appreciate everybody that has reached out and been supportive. Um, and I'm always grateful for that. Um, but yeah, so that's it. And I'll come back later with a little more content about to hit the gym. Might post that on my story or something. But yeah, peace, love, all that good stuff.